Hello, how was your weekend? I hope you have a pleasant weekend. Alright, let's get back to our lab. Today, we're gonna talk about step models. Well, in general, we are not going to talk about the stepper model, the design of the step model. We just want to talk about how to use it. So I will not get into the details of what kinds of step model, how many types of step models, just that we will use the unipolar step model. The way to interface the unipolar step model to our Arduino board, well, we have digital output pin. Stepper model have so many inputs. In our case, we have full phase input. So there are several ways to drive the full phase input. I will show you today how to do the wave drive, the full step drive, and the half step drive. This is stepper model in general. Well, in our case, we have like 4 coins of 4 phase input for the stepper model. You just have to make a waveform transition to make change from one phase to another. Each change in the phase gonna create a magnetic field, which will eventually turn the step model. Here's how it's gonna work. I show you here in these pictures 3 methods for driving the step model. The first one, the wave step drive, the second one, the full step drive, and the last one, the half step drive. Let's take a look at the wave drive for the moment. Well, for the wave drive, basically you just drive one coin at a time. In this case, we first drive coin A, then we move on to coin B, coin C, and coin D. What I want to point out here is that only one coin is driven at a time. This is perhaps the easiest way to drive the stepper model. Here's the full step drive. For full step drive, at a particular time, you would drive 2 coils at a time. So this way we have more torque or more power. But again, it also means you use more power consumption, you use more electric current because you have to drive 2 coins at a time. But if you're looking for a way to rotate heavy things, this is the way to go. And the last method that we're going to talk about today, the half-step drive. The half-step drive, well, it's basically a combination of the wave drive and the full step drive. You have to interchange between the interchange between the full step drive and the wave drive. Thus, the normal drive, you may need 4 steps, but for the half step drive, we have totally 8 steps. Like we first start with driving the coin A, then the second step we will drive both coin A and coin B. Once done, we're gonna drive coin B first, and then we drive B and C together, and so on. This is gonna give us a very precise control over the stepper model. So the name is half step. That means you can always turn half step. We also get more power comparable to the full step drive and don't use the electric current that much. This is our equipment for today. It is the stepper model. Well, basically you have to connect the VCC and the ground to the digital port number 1, the same port that we used last week, right? But our stepper model has 4 phase. You may see the letter in A, in B, in C, and in D here. Alright, so we're gonna connect it to pin number 4, 5, 6, and 7 respectively. Again, if you cannot remember which pin is the one that you want to use, turn to page number 114 again. Alright, let me quickly show you how to connect the board. Again, we use black for ground and red for VCC. Alright, and I use for white cable for in A, in B, in C, and D. Right? Now you connect this to digital port 4, 5, 6, 7, VCC and ground. Again, be careful, we don't want to burn it. Alright, let's see the demonstration. Alright, let me explain the code a little bit. Well, in this one, I put everything related to the stepper model in another tab. Well, you can just copy some code from the sheet. We have stepper in it, no step, wave step, and in my case, I also put the full step code and the half step code right here. Alright, so this one, I use the wave step. If I decide that I want to use the full step, I can just do this. Change the wave step to full step to use the full step drive. Or if I want the half step, I just do this. But for the half step, we actually have a step, so you may want to change the modulation number. Alright, so it's not that difficult. Try experiment with it and see the difference of how the stepper turn for the wave, the full, and the half step. Observe the difference and answer the question. Alright. Also, a little note here. If you want to make it turn counterclockwise or backward, you might want to revert the step. So start with step number 7 and reverse back. But again, since we count down, so you might want to do something like this. If step is less than 0, that means it should start again at step number 7. In this case, I use the half step. If you got it right, this is how it works. You just should see the stepper turning. In this case, this one is the half step drive. So see the difference for each one, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lab today. Try to understand the difference between wave drive, full step drive, and half step drives. That's the main idea for today. Good luck and see you next week. Goodbye.